Hey, this is Mr. Shafto. We're looking at Sweet 18, Day 6. Go ahead and go through and work through the problems. Look at question number 1. It says, what is the value of 0.2 cubed? So if we do that, we knew that it's cubed, so that's times repeated multiplication. So I have 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. That's 3 times, and this is multiplied. So if I do 2 times 2, that's 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8, so I have an 8 here. And when I multiply decimals, I have 1, 2, 3 decimals, so I need to count 1, 2, 3 decimals. So my decimal point goes here. I have 0.008 is my answer. I have 0.008. Question number 2 says, Carmen's family rents a boat at Big Lake at the rate described. Which expression gives the total cost of the day's rental if her family uses in gallons of gasoline? So we've got $20 each day. We pay that only one time, so that's $200. And then it says $4 for each gallon of gasoline. So that's, if I use 1 gallon, it's $4. If I do 2 gallons, it's 8. So that's plus 4 times the gasoline, G. It says in gallons of gasoline for in, but it's 4 times gasoline. So we'll say 200 plus 4 in. And so that's going to be B, 200 plus 4 in. Question 3 says, what is the value of 8 minus 2x plus 5 minus 2 squared, where x is 3? So let's write this, 8 minus 2, and instead of an x, I'm going to put parentheses, plus 5 parentheses minus 2 squared. So if I look at this, I've got 8 minus 2, and in that parentheses, it says x equals 3. So I'm going to put a 3. Let's go ahead and do this. Our exponents, so if I do PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So I start with parentheses. So inside this parentheses, I have 8, put my focus box, minus 2, parentheses 3, plus, inside this is 5 minus 2 gives me 3 squared. So we did the parentheses. Now I have exponents, so that's here. So I use my focus box to put a box around what I'm doing. I have 8 minus 2, parentheses 3, plus 3 squared gives me 9, because 3 times 3 equals 9. Now I do multiply or divide, because parentheses mashed up against a number means multiply. So I have 8 minus, put my focus box, 6, because 2 times 3 is 6, plus 9, and I have add and subtract, and that goes left to right. So I do 8 minus 6 is 2, and 2 plus 9 equals 11. So this gives me 11. Question 4 says the Worth family spent $18 on adult tickets, $16.50 on children's tickets, and $11.75 on refreshments. They had $50 to spend. How much money was left over? So they spent $18 on adult tickets, $16.50 on children's tickets, and $11.75 on refreshments. They had $50 total. How much was left over? So it doesn't look like we're repeating anything. So we just add these together. So I've got 5, 0 plus 5 is 0. 5 plus 7 gives me 12. 2 down, carry the 1. This is 8 plus 1 is 10. Plus 6 is 16, carry the 1. And this is 4. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is $46.25. So I'd take $50 and 0 cents minus $46.25, because I'm looking for how much money was left over, so I have to subtract. So I can't do 0 minus 5, so I have to borrow all the way over here. Can't borrow from the 0, can't borrow from the 0, so I borrow from the 5. This becomes a 4, and I put 10. Then that cancels out, and I borrow. This becomes a 9, and I put 10. I borrow again, that becomes a 9, and I put 10. And now I can do 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. Decimal place. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 4 minus 4 is 0. So my answer is $3.75 left over. The table shows the elevation of 4 lakes, my bad. Which lake has the highest elevation? Well, this is negative, so that's lowest. And then this is negative, so that's second lowest. This is higher, 66, but not as high as 79. So 79 is the highest. Sorry, 97. And so that's Lake Campbell has the highest elevation. Question 6 says the length of a rectangular swimming pool is 5 feet shorter than twice the width. So the first thing you want to do here is draw the rectangle. So let N represent the width. So let's say the width is W. And it says the length is 5 feet shorter, so that's minus 5, than twice the width. So that's going to be 2 W's minus 5. 2 W's minus 5. And so if I add these together, let's go and work over here. I've got 2W minus 5. When I find the perimeter, right? Which expression gives the length of the swimming pool? Ooh, it only asks for the length. Dang, I was about to find perimeter. It's just 2W minus 5, or 2N minus 5. Be careful reading these so that you don't be like what I almost just did. Thus, which expression is equivalent to 8 parentheses, 4N minus 2N? As I look at this, I can combine 4N and 2N. And that gives me 4N's minus 2N's gives me 2N's. And then I have 8. So 8 times 2N's gives me 16N's. So the answer would be C. A lot of people might use my box method and put 8, 4N, and then minus 2N. And this gives me 8 times 4 is 32 N's. And 8 times minus 2 is minus 16 N's. And then 32 minus 16 gives me 16 N's. Again, we end up with the same thing. So you're better off doing the inside parentheses first and then multiplying. Question 8 says the equation S equals P minus 10 shows the cost of a video game where S is the price of money and the game, and P is the original price of the game. So this is sale price and original price. If the video game is on sale for $20, what was the original price? So the sale price is 20. So this is 20 is equal to P minus 10. So if I've got something minus $10 gives me $20 left over, well, that's just 30 because 30 minus $10 equals 20. Be careful that you read, right? So it could have been like, oh, well, 20 minus 10 gives me 10. And that makes absolutely 0 sense. It doesn't make any sense for me to have an original price of $10 and then my sale price is $20. That's ridiculous. Read carefully and think. If 3/4 y equals 9, what is the value of 5y minus 6? So remember when we do this, if I multiplied my fraction, then I flip the reciprocal 4/3 and multiply 4/3. So this cancels out because it's numerator, denominator, and it's a whole. This cancels out because it's numerator, denominator, and it's a whole. So I'm left with y by itself, comes down here, and 9 times 4 divided by 3 because fraction bar means divide. And it helps to put 9 as a fraction over 1. So that gives me 36. 9 times 4 is 36 over 3. Now 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 6 2 times. So y is 12. We are not done because now we have to put y into this equation. So I have 5 parentheses, and instead of a y, I'm putting 12 plus 6. So this gives me 12 plus 6 is 18, and then 18 times 5. I know that 5 times 10 and then 8 So this is 50, and 5 times 8 is 40. So altogether, this is going to be 50 plus 40 gives me 90. So 5 times 18 is 90. A rectangle has a base. What did I do? Okay, here we go. This one asks for the perimeter. Rectangle has a base of 3x plus 5. So let's draw the rectangle. The height is twice as long as the base. So I have a base of 3x plus 5. 3x plus 5. Now, it says that height is twice as long as the base. So I really drew this wrong. But if I do 3x plus 5, and I do that times 2, because it's 2 times as long, this gives me 2 times 3 gives me 6x, and 2 times 5 gives me 10. So that's 6x plus 10. And over here is also 6x plus 10. What is the perimeter? So the perimeter means I add up all the outsides. So I have, I'll pull over here so we can see. So I've got 3x plus 5, and then another 3x plus 5, and then I have 6x plus 10, and 6x plus 10. So altogether, that gives me 10, 20, and 25, 30. Well, that's positive. And then I've got 6 is 12, plus 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18, x plus 30. So my answer here is B. Question number 11 says, over here real quick, in a litter, 2 out of 8 kittens are male. What percent of the kittens in the litter are female? So this gives me 2 out of 8, 2 male out of 8 total are male. What percentage of the kittens are female? That's really important because it's not asking me for the males. So 2 out of 8 equals percent over 100%. So let's think about this. If I had 2 out of 8, to go from 2 to 8, this is times 4. So I was drawing my arrow down. So my opposite arrow, I divide by 4. Well, when you take 100 and you cut it into 4, that's a quarter. So this is 25% are male. Important, which means if 25% are male, 100% minus 25% gives me 75% female. The answer is C, 75%. Question 11, jackets cost $15 and a set of decorative buttons cost $5. The delivery fee is $5 per order. The expression 15N plus 5N plus 5 gives the cost of buying jackets with buttons for N people, which is another way to write the expression. So another way to write this, I've got 15N plus 5N plus 5. So let's set up our T-chart. I've got my N's, I've got my numbers, and I've got 15N, I've got 5N, and I've got 5. So this gives me 20N plus 5. And that's my answer right here. Please do not add a squared. It's like, oh, there's 2 N's, so I'll add a square. That's not how that works. The squared only happens when you have N times N is equal to N squared, because squared is repeated multiplying. This is adding, not multiplying. X on that. On a coordinate plane, what is the distance between 4, -4, and 1, -4? So let's go ahead and draw our coordinate plane. And I've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm down here. And then 1, -4. So I've got 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 1, -4, and 4, -4. So if I'm going, I had to go 1, 2, 3, and I go from 4 to 1. So the distance here is 3. And the way you could do that is you could do 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. Okay, these ones are always messed up, so let's redraw A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Jack drew a new point 85% of the distance from B, let's draw it B, to G, right here. Between which two letters does new point lie? So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 100 divided into 5 groups is equal to 20. So let's label it. This is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So now I've got 85 will be somewhere right here. So that's between F and G. There's D. Table below shows the number of people seated in each section of the gym depending on the total number of people in the gym. Which equation could be used to find the number of people that are seated in each section? So this tells me if there's 9 people, I have 3 sections. 3 people in each section. If there's 18 people, I have 6 people in each section. If there's 27 people, how many people are in each section? If there's 36 people, how many people are in each? 12 are in each section. So let's find the pattern here. I've got 3 times 3 is 9. 6 times 3 is 18. And 12 times 3 is 36. So this suggests that this is 9 here. So let's go and see if that works. So we've got a multiplication pattern or a dividing pattern because they can be opposites. So let's see. N is the people. N is the people. It says it right here. So let's look. If I have N, I'm going to put parentheses. And instead of an N, I'm going to put one of these here. So let's do 3 small numbers. They're easy to work with. Equals 3 parentheses. And instead of putting a P, I'm going to put 9 for P. So another question is 3 times 9 equal to 3? And I think the answer to that is no, because 3 times 9 is 27. So let's do this. N, let's use the same number, is 3 parentheses equals 9 fraction bar 3. And the reason I put 9 here is because 9 is the P, this whole group right here. That's not what I want. Delete that. 9 is the P that is this section right here. And so the 3 goes with the 9. And 9 fraction bar 3, fraction bar means divide. So 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. So the answer here is B, N equals P over 3. Next problem, Jacob is constructing a model of a spaceship for something I can't read for a science project. The design of the wings of the spacecraft is shown. What's the area of the wing? So I've got a rectangle, a trapezoid, and a triangle. So the height, this triangle is 4, and the height is 3. So we got to cut these up. So this is 4 times 3 times 3 equals 12. And I have to divide it by 2 because it's a triangle. So this is 6 inches squared. Let's look at my rectangle. This is 15 by 3. So that's 15 times 3. And it's just a rectangle. So we don't have to divide. And that equals to 45 inches squared. Now this trapezoid, we can cut it. I like to do that. If this whole thing is 15 and this section is 11, that means this section is 11. And I've got this chopped off to get to 15. So it's not 4 because this part we already used. We've cut it off. We've already found the area. So 15 minus 11 gives me, well, never mind, it is 4. It's not 4 because of this. It's 4 because we subtracted. So I've got 4 here, and then this is 10 tall because over here this is 10 tall. So 4 times 10 divided by 2 is equal to 40 divided by 2 is 20 inches squared. And then over here I've got 11 times 10 gives me 110 inches squared. So now I've got to add it together. I have 6 plus 20 plus 45 plus 110. And I get 5 plus 6 is 11. Put a 1 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 plus 2 is 6. 7, 8. Put the 8 down. And then I have 181 inches squared. So that's what's the volume of the rectangular prism below. So I've got 3, 2.5, and 8.5. So I've got volume is equal to length times width times height. So I have 3 times 2.5 times 8.5. And you could do this on a calculator. I'm going to do it by hand. So if I'm going to convert these. So this is 3 over 1 times 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5 halves. I converted that to an improper fraction so that I can multiply. This gives me 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2. So now I've got this fraction 15 halves times. Now let's convert this number. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17 halves. Now this is a little bit daunting. So 2 times 2 gives me 4. Then I've got 15 times 17. So let's go ahead and do this off to the side here. I've got 15 and 17. You can use this method or you can use the other method. I'm going to use this method. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. 7 times 7 plus 3 is 10. Put a placeholder, smiley face. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. And I end up with 5. 0 plus 5 is 5. And 255. So this is going to be 255 fourths. Now I have to convert back, right? So I've got 255 divided by 4. 4 fits into 2 0 times. 4 fits into 25. 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract, I have 1. Drop the 5 down, I get 15. 4 fits into 15. 3 times 4 is 12. I have to add a decimal place and goes lower. I subtract 15 minus 12. That's 5 minus 2 gives me 3. This is canceled out. I bring the 1 down. I get 0. Decimal place here. 4 goes into 37 times. 7 times 4 is 28. To add another 0. 30 minus 28 is 2. Drop my 0 down. I get 20. 4 goes into 25 times, and my answer is 63.75 or 63. And I could have just taken this remainder right here. That's 3 out of 4. 63 3/4. None of this prism is shown below. There's the surface area of the prism. So we're trying to find the area of this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and add them together. Now the prism, remember that this space, this is A, and this is also A. They're the same size. This is B, and this is also B. They're the same size, and this would be C and C. So let's look. I've got 2, and I have 3. So this is 6, which means this is 6. I've got 2, and I have 4. So this is 2 times 4 is 8, which means the B is also 8. So then I have 3 times 4 is 12, which means this is 12. So now I've got 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 12 plus 12. So I've got 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. That's 20, 26, 32. 1, 2 plus 3 is 52 units squared.